guys, it's your girl Faith, and welcome back to Faith Facts. So today we were going to do the Kissing Booth 2 movie review, but like I said, I'd say about 1.5 weeks ago, I posted this video called the Kissing Booth 2 movie review, and guess what? It got blocked by YouTube, so I decided for this one, we ain't trying that again. We're not trying to get copyright blocked. We are not trying to get copyright strike. 3 strikes, you're out. So I'm not going to put a lot of the movie in here. And when I do, it's going to have my lovely voice over it. So if you really want to see the movie, I suggest you watch another movie review. This won't be as much of a movie review as it's going to be a review of The Kissing Booth Part 2.
And this is why I don't pre-record. Of course there's a movie review.
Hey, that kind of rhymes.
Okay, so the movie starts off with Elle being, a smart and independent woman riding her motorcycle down the highway. And she's then at school and she gets a call from her dad, but it's really just Noah who went to Harvard. And now she's talking with Noah on FaceTime, and they're kind of having a long-distance relationship, and she's struggling with that, so she's trying to get to a school in Boston. Meanwhile, Elle and Lee's MVP score at Dance Dance Revolution has been taken over by some random guy named MVP. Who could it possibly be? So then somebody shows Elle of this new guy doing push-ups or something at the school, and she's going off about him, just saying everything, and it's all going over the intercom so everyone in school can hear it, including the guy. And this guy, she's really interested in his butt and abs and all that, but his name is Marco. That guy, see? Marco, they're all shouting for him. Later that day, Elle is FaceTiming Noah, and he sees this girl named Chloe there, and she's just all too touchy with him and the rest of his friends, just being you don't know he has a girlfriend kind of thing. Meanwhile, they find out the guy that beat their high score is Marco, and Marco is trying to win a bet against Elle in Dance Dance Revolution. Spoiler alert, Elle wins. But Elle needs Marco's help because she wants to get a scholarship, and there's a Dance Dance Mania scholarship, and she needs a partner, and Lee does not want to be her partner. He wants to spend more time with his girlfriend, which he should be doing. So Elle and Marco partner up for the Dance Dance Mania competition for the scholarship. A couple weeks later, when Elle goes to Boston to visit Noah, they go to a restaurant, and they talk about how much they love each other and how they're never gonna hurt each other's hearts and all. Spoiler alert, they do. Noah does, especially when he brings his friends, including Chloe, to visit Elle at the restaurant, and Elle is just not comfortable with how she hugs him. Look, it's a lot of hugging. She looks very uncomfortable, Elle. So let's skip ahead a few, they're feuding and all, and Lee pretends to break his legs so that he doesn't have to play Dance Dance Mania, and now Elle and Marco are partnered up. Meanwhile, Lee goes to confess his love to his girlfriend, and Noah calls Elle again. Well, actually, Elle calls Noah, and Noah gets upset. Now, I'm not actually sure what happens after this. This whole movie is basically half montages. That's why I'm showing it to you this way. Anyway, Elle misses a call from Noah, and then Marco is trying to tell her that she needs to loosen up a little bit more so that she can have fun and be genuine looking for the judges at the competition. Sweet stuff. Look at how they're looking at each other. You cannot tell me that there's supposed to be tension there, but there isn't. Then Elle and Marco go on a date that's not really a date, but it's a date. And she calls Noah again. Noah's unresponsive. And then there's a strange plot line that I'm not going to really go over. And then it's the Halloween party. They almost kiss, but they don't. Will they, won't they? Elle and Marco. So now it's competition day. Dance Dance Mania. So they are dancing. Their dancing's actually pretty good. Looks very fun. And everyone is rooting for them. And he does a backflip off the stage. Oh, man. Everyone is cheering and all. And they do the thing from Dirty Dancing. Wow! but what she doesn't know is that Noah went there to the stadium to cheer her on. And they are winning, and they actually are about to win, and now Elle kisses Marco right in front of her boyfriend. And Lee is watching like, oh no, Elle has done messed up. So now Elle sees him, and he looking at his angry, with that fake old goatee and all. And now she's trying to run off stage. They don't let you do that on Dancing with the Stars. And now she's sad. And now Lee is shocked. So there's then Thanksgiving, and everyone's there, and tension boils over, and everyone gets into an argument. Chloe talks to Noah, and Elle talks to Lee, and then they're at the football game, and tension boils over, and Lee wins Homecoming King. So now it's the kissing booth, because we have to shove this in, because it's called the kissing booth. Lee kisses his girlfriend Rachel, and that guy from the first movie, yeah, he gets to kiss his crush. So then Elle goes up and she has to kiss Marco, and she's like, no, I love Noah. So she goes and she makes up with Chloe and says, oh, they're just friends, blah blah blah. So then she goes to meet up Noah. They have another moment. She gets accepted to UC Berkeley and Harvard, so now she has to choose which one she wants to go to, and now she rides off into the sunwet set with her abusive boyfriend. The end.
You guys probably want to know a little bit more about the movie and not waste your 2 hours watching it like I did twice. So let's get into that.
First, we're going to look up the IMDb page, because I was looking at it a few days ago, and the IMDb page for The Kissing Booth 2 is pretty interesting. Has some nice, little tidbits and all. So let's go on to this page. Okay, so the release date was July 24th, 2020. So I know I'm very, very, very late on watching this. And yes, in that corner right there is me watching Kenny JD in another window. Yeah. Anyway, let's get to what's at hand. So, of course, we have the cast. Let's just read it off, for time's sake. Joey King as Elle Evans, Joel Courtney as Lee Flynn, Jacob Elroy D. I never really got that. As Noah Flynn, Molly Ringwood as Mrs. Flynn, Taylor Zakar Perez as Marco Pena. I don't remember him saying his last name that much. Mercy Richardson, I believe, is Chloe Winthrop, and here is literally everyone else. Now, anyway, let's get to what this is. Oh, here they have a more like this page, where they have the original Kissing Booth, the second movie for To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is basically a better version of the Kissing Booth 2. And then they have the first To All the Boys, They Work It, all the teenage Netflix shows and all. Some of them are cheesy. Oh gosh, they have 365 days here. Why is this in this category? Anyway, let's get to the trivia, guys. Joey King actually shaved her head for her role in The Act 2019. So she has to wear a wig when filming this movie. And I kind of noticed that because, I don't want to be mean or anything, but her wig was sliding. It was sliding throughout some of the movie. And it didn't look as, natural as it did in the first movie. So that's all I gotta say. Some pictures of Elle and Noah that are used in the movie are actually pictures of when Joey King and Jacob Elroy were together. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. But yeah, they were together till last year. I think Jacob Elroy is with Zendaya now. But they might have broken up. I'm not sure. This is the biggest fact that I found kind of weird. But the movie is set in Los Angeles, but it is mostly filmed in Cape Town, South Africa. I never would have noticed. I never would have noticed. But in the first movie, it's known that Elle's full name is Shelley, but it's revealed in this movie that her full name is Rochelle, which I kind of remember hearing in this. In the first Kissing Booth, Joey King's character is listed as Shelley or Elle Evans, but in the book, at the end of the Kissing Booth 2, Noah calls her Rochelle. So I guess that's where they get the L part from, Rochelle. Shelley's just a smaller version of Rochelle. I don't know why I wanted to watch this movie. Maybe because it's cheesy and it has Molly Ringwood in it. Who knows? Anyway, let's get back to the video.
the trivia comes the critics. So first we're going to take a look at IMDb, then we're going to take a look at Rotten Tomatoes and see what the general consensus is.
First we go on Rotten Tomatoes, and of course the super critical critics gave it a 29% out of, 100% for 100% fresh, and the audience rates it a 41. So let's hear what the critics have to say. Monica Costello says, you can soak in the movie's basic premise and overreacting just as long as you know the pool is shallow. Shallow. She said kiddie pool. Okay, and she gave it a 1.5 out of 4 rating. Sonia Rao from the Washington Post says, if The Kissing Booth 2 was watchable, viewers would have Elle to thank. King remains the strongest component of a now franchise that, quite frankly, might be beneath her. I am so glad someone has said that. I am so glad, because I've watched a few episodes of The Act, and Joey King is really good in that, and she's in all different other movies, and my favorite movie of hers, Ramona and Beezus, that's like one of the greatest movies out there, but it's a bag. I don't blame her. Caroline City says Perez is manageably more charismatic than Elrodi, but neither are as compelling as to the question of why Elle's high school is full of teenage boys who look like adult Marvel superheroes. I know, right? I know, it paints this whole picture of how every guy there is built. Every guy could be the understudy for Superman or for Captain America in a Marvel movie, and they're only supposed to be 17. I don't get what that's about. Meanwhile, Lindsay Barr says the one saving grace is King, a genuinely delightful young actor who manages to hold your attention and empathy even when her underwritten character barely deserves it. I'm glad someone's bringing that up. Elle is pretty undeveloped. I like how they kind of give her a personality, she's supposed to be this quirky gamer girl, but the writing just doesn't sell it for me. Kate Elban says, while it offers some necessary growth from all of its characters, The Kissing Booth 2 can never resist looking and acting like dozens of other offerings of its genre. I know, unable to grow beyond basic compilations and done-to-death dramas. I know, from what I said about the ending is almost exactly the same as it is in To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Love You. And that came out earlier this year. So, I think it's they do a lot of the drama cliches. And the last review that I will read from the critics are, director Vince Marcello leans heavily on montage to get us through this deluge of intervened drama, which, mercifully, unspoons more than 2 hours. Mercilessly, I mean. Yeah, that's one of my least favorite parts of this. It's 2 hours. Here it says for audience reviews for The Kissing Booth 2, there are no featured audience reviews for The Kissing Booth 2 at this time. I guess people really did not like that movie. Or, here it says The Kissing Booth 2 quotes. There are no approved quotes yet. I don't know, the movie came out 2 months ago. Usually Rotten Tomatoes gets on a movie train. If it came out 2 months ago, they should already have this up. Joey King makes The Kissing Booth 2 better than it could have been, but this slapdash sequel will leave viewers puckering up for all the wrong reasons. And that is basically the old people way of saying that Joey King pulled this movie on her back. And it's just a bunch of cliches thrown together.
Then we're going to look at some of the more obscure things about this and how the relationship between Elle and Noah is pretty toxic. Not as toxic as the first one, because in the first one, Noah was extremely aggressive. I seen that. And she still falls for him, and that just makes no sense to me. Does it make sense to you? Because make it make sense. Because she goes and she knows he's aggressive, so he's probably going to be aggressive to her, but then they don't end up being aggressive to her. So then, in this movie, he gets into Harvard. How? I don't know. He's not a particularly smart guy. But he gets a so-called friend named Chloe, and she is just way too touchy with him, and I get it, Elle is kind of upset, and she wants to spend more time with Noah, but Noah is kind of like, hey, no, I'm staying here with my friend Chloe in Boston. But she has Marco, and Marco is like, do a little something, and Elle's like, no, not really, but then she's kind of leading him on the whole movie. To all the boys I loved before, P.S. I love you did this. And just like that movie, she ends up going with Noah because she had him first and waits till the very end of the movie to tell Marco that she doesn't like him and that she doesn't want to be with him. Anyway, Marco deserved better. Joy King in this movie, it's beneath her. She's a really great actress. She doesn't need this. I like the character who played Chloe. I mean, the person that played Chloe was really good at, being the Chloe. I don't know how to explain it. She really doesn't have much of a personality. And this movie, while it could have been worse, it can use a pass. I'll take a pass on it anytime. You guys should take a pass on it anytime. And that's about it. Yeah, that's it. Make sure to like. Make sure to comment what you think of this kind of mediocre movie. And don't forget to subscribe. We have a new video coming out Sunday. We have new videos every Wednesday and Sunday, except for this Wednesday because we're working on this. So, I'll see you later. Bye.